Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Wilderness SMP. It's now time for episode number 6 and part number 3 since the last time we spoke. Now it has been a little minute since I have uploaded a video. The last video we uploaded was back on the 1st of April, so it has been a little bit of time. Now, we have done a lot since then. The build has taken many twists and turns since the 1st of April, and I've now got that for you here. So where we left you before was focusing on the sort of lower section on the right hand side, and this is obviously my city. It's called Treetopolis. It's based upon a sort of a Roman / Greek sort of feel, slight modern twist, and using a lot of that, say, the white woods that we've mentioned before. So the pale woods particularly, then moving into things like the stripped version of it, quartz smooth variant, bone and mushroom to create the sort of effect of a sort of a texture, and obviously with a little bit of shadowing with mushroom block in the top areas. A lot of the detailing we've been using is using the pale oak variants as well, with slight sort of additions of diorite, and that's been one of the big ones, and using polished diorite as well, with acacia and occasionally copper as our primary block palette. Now you can see here what we're actually doing is now focusing on the lower section to the left hand side, using some inspiration from some of the builds that we've done before. Now it's starting to get a little bit easier to make these things now. We're 3 episodes in, or at least the 3rd part of building the city, and I am finding it a bit easier. There are times I'm still doubting myself and really my creative ability, because I'm building it on the fly. So a lot of what you're seeing here is me just building it on the fly, live on stream. You can watch us on obviously YouTube, TikTok and Twitch being our main platform, as we actually go through the process and I talk through it. But here, yeah, I'm so pleased how it's coming out, and the feedback that we're getting from everyone has been absolutely fantastic. Now, some little quick tidbits for me. You can actually see a lot of what we're using was pale moss for the predominantly kind of outlines. You'll see that quite a bit here, and you'll also see it in a few moments as well when we go to the mid-tier section in the second part of this video. But what we're continuing off and trying to do is each building should be quite unique, quite different, but with a similar style and feel, with the orange being a predominant factor that has to jump out. That's my one bold sort of secondary colour, by using the rest of the palette behind the scenes. Now I was a bit worried that a lot of these buildings would blend into each other, and that's when we started to introduce a lot of the andesite and stone for the roofs to try and create separation between each of the different buildings. That way I'm kind of hopeful that what it'll do is it'll make it easier to the eye, that when you gaze upon it from an angle or different perspectives, the diorite allows you to sort of see from building to building as you work your way up. Now this was the last building to the left hand side, this one that we're just building here. Now they're only facades at the minute, they're only sort of the front end of the build. There's not going to be any interiors at the moment or sort of walls in the inside, although we have done some. I'll take you for a little tour at the end of this video in obviously the normal first person view, and we'll go through and have a look at it. But it certainly is coming out really nicely. So I think I've got a little walkthrough just now actually. I put this into the edit as well, where you can actually see me walking through the lower section. That's pretty much the lower section done. In regards to the facades and the buildings, taking us obviously through across the top section here. That to the right there, I believe is going to be a market that I'm going to put into that building here. And that's us now obviously completed the lower section to the left. I had left one not built building, and you'll actually see that above in a moment. I'm going to leave that one till I come back around full circle to the mid-tier section, because I wanted to ensure that the build actually mapped up to correctly and it connected. I was a little bit worried that this one maybe wouldn't connect to the building above, and I wasn't sure on spacing and sizing, so I kind of left that one. So this was kind of the end of the left-hand section, and then what you'll now see is a nice little pan back as we move into the right-hand section. So this is now back to the right, up to the mid-tier. And this is where we've got to just this week on stream. This was Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday I forget what day that would have been. Wednesday that would have been last week. Sorry, was it last week? Oh, I don't remember. All the days blend into each other these days. But I think it would have been Monday. Sorry, yeah, Monday the 28th of April. It was this building here to the right hand side. And eventually when we get to Wednesday the 30th of April, this was now this video, when we started to do the roof and also the building on the left hand side. Crikey, how time flies when you're having fun. Anyways, I wanted to say thanks while you watch this video here to everyone that has obviously watched so far, and the feedback from the live streams and the comments on the pictures, Instagram, you know, the whole works. Thank you. There's been overwhelming positive feedback about the build, and it's really what's keeping me going. And you know, building a survival on the fly without any creative building or like Matica or schematics, and just building it off the off the top of my head, basically, just trying to come up with ideas. It's been challenging. But I think the details coming across really well. I think the story's coming across quite well. The lore behind it too, which is all part of the Discord, and the people that are obviously on the server as well are starting to fly by and see the progress too. So I'll leave you kind of there with the sort of top pan back here of the sort of the organic area. I'll hand you to Tree, and I'll let him take you for an actual tour, and I'll talk about each building and what they're all going to turn into. But again, thank you very much for watching the time lapse to this point, and I'll hand you over to Tree. All right, thank you very much. Other Tree in the sky. Narrator Tree, thank you. Now, I thought I'd start up the top of the build here, and then kind of take you through and then try and work out how to showcase all of this. It's quite a lot to cover, so what I'll likely do is, well, I think I'll fly to the bottom first. Let's fly all the way down. And then start down the bottom. And we'll kind of work our way around. We'll do each building in turn and give you a bit of lore, a bit of story, and really what everything is. So this is what I've been working from. Is this little sort of corner of the build with all my different blocks on it. That's just stuff and things. But here we've got the calcite, bone blocks, mushroom stem, endless amounts of diorite, the quartz, pale woods, and then onto the orange colours, and then some sort of andesite for, and tough is cobblestone as well for a lot of the other areas as well. But the first build we're going to be kind of the first one to the lower section. This will actually be the Great Ancient Library. I have started to do a little bit of interior planning. We'll get to that maybe later on. There's the beacon that I've got covered up. So that'll be in here. But we'll go down the stairs. I haven't quite finished the stair designs yet here. And even to the right hand side, this next building. Again, still no plans for the interior of this one just yet. Still some little details here, like the path, to make them a little bit more gradual instead of being one block height. So we'll fix all that later, including the organic section. We're going to have a lot of trees and bushes and stuff up there sort of blending into the build. And we will then bring vines and glow lichen into the walls and obviously make it a little bit more aged is the plan for later on. So that's something we can focus on in a future episode. Now you may have saw these in the video as I walked past them, but people keep leaving silverfish in my base. And it's now become a bit of a thing. There are silverfish faces literally everywhere. So there's some sort of mad lore going on with silverfish in my build. So we've had a little play around with some big gigantifying things. But this building here, I'll go into free camps, so it's a bit easier to see. This one's going to be the market, I think we're going to create this into, for villagers and trading. And maybe have a little bit of storage. But this was obviously the part for today's video, was all these builds over here. Now, I did do the interior to this build. I did it on my lunch, actually, one day. So a lot of the builds will eventually have this interior design. We will get to that a little bit later, hopefully, and do all of them very, very similar and leave it as blank canvases to make the interiors within. I did do the stairs here, interestingly. I did make them with the sort of the better design, gradual sort of pattern up and down. And then even here as well, I added it in with the interior of this build. Well, not all of it, but at least the floor where I want the building to go. I did spend a little bit of time connecting up, as I said, with the actual video. There was a little bit of a walkthrough from that perspective of a little bit of the progress as we kind of went on, but I never really covered like the interior. So you can see there's going to be a little sort of corner shop here, potentially underneath there as well, and also in this section too. So lots of areas for buildings, stories, and things like that I can tell within the build. Coming down to sort of the side now, it kind of goes up a level down the corner here to another building, which we can build up another one later and add that all into here. And if we kind of go further around, it'll take us up to the next level, which is kind of the last planned level for the meantime on this section over here. There's no way to kind of connect up to the next buildings thus far, but the plan will be to somehow connect these buildings from here to that platform and around to those buildings here, and then up through to this section up above here, which is all marked out already. Not quite sure we're going to do that. That's kind of like a future me problem, but no doubt we'll get there eventually. Now, where this will actually take you to, if I fly up a little bit here, It's up at, oh my god, there's another one. They're new. So from this section, I'll kind of go to free cam. This is the next build that we're likely going to do in the future as we're working our way from right to left. Is going to be this zone here. So we'll do the next diagonal building at the top in the next video. We'll do that on stream probably this week or this weekend, whenever this video comes out. And we'll be working on that building next. And then the connectivity here, there's going to be a little bridge connected here over the sort of scrub land just in the middle. And then a building here to the left hand side. And that'll hopefully connect up this whole zone here. And that'll be the next area that I develop. Kind of coming back across to where we were then. Oh, I got stuck. That's where it's going to connect. So that wall there, if I just come out again, you'll see that that's going to run beneath there, right the way through, and then across into that building here. So it's all going to hopefully connect through this section here. There's a staircase to the top floor, and as we work our way around this side, this will be what connects into what I'm going to probably create as the motel that will go above the library. So from the front of this build, there'll be a couple like motel, sort of hotel rooms with some balconies that live up the top here. And we're going to connect those from this section into here, have a little door archway, and then create like a hotel entrance, some rooms to the left, rooms to the back, and then access to the lower ground floor, which will be in there. Now there's going to be more lore for the library, but I'm going to leave that for a future video. I've been kind of working on that, not quite got it ironed out just yet, but I will get there. Coming up to the top floor, we do have a couple of visible sections. I don't even remember why I put that there. Why did I put that there? I don't even think I put that there. So from this sort of next area, we can see where we're looking to progress the build next. This will be a walking floor section up here with a staircase accessible to the next level up. So when we move from the mid tier to the top tier, there will be a way to get from the bottom of the build all the way to the top. That's my intention. I will try. It might be quite difficult, but I'll do the best that I can to connect to all. So yeah, so that's where we are so far. So I'll kind of just leave you there for the moment. We'll sort of like hopefully have a video out sooner than the next 4 weeks, but on stream, we'll be live streaming on YouTube. We'll be live streaming on TikTok and Twitch. Maybe not TikTok all the time. We do it sometimes. But Twitch and YouTube is where you'll catch us for some live streams. We are going to be working on this right-hand section here from the mid-tier, so this building here, moving on to the left, and then working our way around this lower section. We're not going to do the top section here. Once we get this building in here, I'm then going to have to map out this section. As I said, I've not done this building here on purpose because I want to try and get these two to somehow connect, and I hadn't quite got as far in my process of thinking how to do that. Anyways, it's been long enough. I will leave you all there for now. I just want to say thank you very much again to all those that have watched, commented, shared, liked, all this stuff and things for our build so far, and I'm really, really pleased how it's coming along. So hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll be working on the top section, and hopefully it's within the next sort of 4 weeks and we can move on to the top. But yep, thank you very much all for watching. Hopefully speak to you all in a video in the future. If not, I'll catch you on a live stream. But remember, obviously, to subscribe, like, watch, comment on YouTube. It's all really supportive as we try to, take our build to the next level and see what we could do as a Minecraft content creator on the world of the internet. So my name has been Tree. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.